Hello friends, welcome back. Tonight we are going to talk why ancient Egyptian cats guarded dream time. Secrets about this. If you are ready to know, then like the video and subscribe to the channel. But then when you are really enjoying our video, and tell me in the comment which country you are watching our video in and how much time you have, we love to know. Turn off the lights and enjoy the video. You stand at the edge of a sun-baked Nile village, the air thick with the scent of mud and reeds. It's ancient Egypt around 1500 BCE, and the river hums with life, croaking frogs, the lazy slap of water against fishing boats, and the distant chatter of merchants haggling over barley. You squint against the glare of the sun, which seems to have a personal vendetta against anyone without a shady palm to hide under. The village is alive, but not in that frantic modern way, like a smartphone buzzing with notifications. No, this is a slow, deliberate pulse, as if the world itself is taking a long, deep breath before bed. You wander toward a mud brick house, its walls smoothed by hands that know the river's moods. Inside, a family moves with the quiet rhythm of routine. A woman kneads dough on a low table, her fingers dusted with flour like a baker's version of a snow globe. Nearby, a child plays with a wooden toy shaped like a crocodile, which, let's be honest, is a questionable choice for a toddler in a place where real crocodiles lurk. And there, in the corner, a sleek cat lounges on a woven mat, its eyes half closed, as if it's judging your life choices from across the millennia. Cats in ancient Egypt aren't just pets, they're practically royalty. The major historical fact here is that Egyptians revered cats as sacred protectors, linked to the goddess Bastet, who embodies home, fertility, and defense against evil. You can almost hear the priests muttering that a house without a cat is like a Wi-Fi signal with one bar, functional but barely. These felines are everywhere, stalking granaries to keep mice at bay, their presence a quiet promise of safety. The Egyptians don't just tolerate cats, they elevate them to divine status, carving their likeness into amulets and statues. Killing a cat, even by accident, could land you in hotter water than forgetting your lines at a school play. Now, here's the weird tidbit. Some Egyptians shave their eyebrows to mourn a dead cat. You try to picture it. A solemn villager, razor in hand, carefully depilating their brows as if it's a sacred PowerPoint presentation to the gods. It's not just quirky, it's a glimpse into a world where grief for a pet runs deeper than your average social media sob story. You imagine the neighbours nodding sympathetically, probably wondering if they should have invested in better razors themselves. You sit by the hearth, the fire crackling like a lo-fi playlist on repeat. The cat stretches, its claws flexing like tiny yoga instructors, and you wonder about its role in dreams. Historians still debate whether Egyptians believed cats guarded sleepers from spiritual threats, or just kept rats from nibbling their toes. Either way, the cat's gaze feels like it's peering into your soul, or at least judging your posture. You lean back, the warmth of the mud brick walls seeping into your shoulders, and let the village's hum lull you. The Nile whispers, the cat blinks slowly, and you're already halfway to dreaming, like you've just scrolled through an hour of calming ASMR videos without realizing it. The family moves around you, their lives a tapestry of small, grounding details. The mother hums a tune, soft as a summer breeze, while the father repairs a fishing net, his hands steady as if threading a needle through time itself. You notice a small clay figurine of a cat on a shelf, its eyes painted with a precision that suggests it's more than decor. It's a reminder that in this world, the line between the mundane and the divine is as thin as a papyrus sheet. You yawn, the kind of yawn that feels like it's apologizing for interrupting the story. The cat, unimpressed, flicks its tail. Typical. You drift deeper into the village, the Nile's edge now a shimmering ribbon under the moonlight. It's still 1500 BCE, but night has draped the world in a velvet hush, like someone turned down the volume on reality. The stars above are brighter than any city sky you've ever seen, a cosmic screensaver that makes you feel small but oddly comforted. You walk past houses, their windows glowing faintly from oil lamps, each one a tiny beacon of life. The air smells of baked earth and something sweet, maybe dates left out to dry, like nature's attempt at a dessert menu. You pause at a small temple, its walls etched with images of Bastet, the cat-headed goddess who is basically the patron saint of cozy vibes. The major historical fact is that Bastet's cult grew massively during the New Kingdom, transforming her from a fierce lioness deity into a gentler protector of homes and families. Think of it like a divine rebrand: less roaring predator, more purring guardian. Her temples like this one are where people come to pray for safety, fertility, or just a good night's sleep. You can almost imagine the priests rolling their eyes at yet another villager asking for cat-blessed dreams, as if Bastet's got nothing better to do. Here's the obscure tidbit. Some Egyptians believed cats could carry messages to the gods during sleep. You picture a cat lounging on a rooftop, telepathically filing a complaint about the neighbour's loud snoring. It's a charmingly odd belief, like trusting your pet to handle your customer service calls. You wonder if the cat you saw earlier is off delivering divine post-it notes while you're here, stumbling through the dark like a tourist without a map. You sit on a stone bench outside the temple, the coolness grounding you like a weighted blanket. The village is quieter now, save for the occasional bleat of a goat or the soft rustle of palm fronds. Historians still debate whether Bastet's followers thought cats physically entered the dream world or just stood guard at its edges. It's a mystery as elusive as trying to remember where you parked your chariot in a sandstorm. You lean back, the stars swirling above like a celestial lullaby, and feel the weight of the day slip away. A priestess passes by, her linen robe whispering against the ground. She carries a small basket of offerings, bread, honey, and a tiny cat figurine, because apparently even the gods can't resist a good feline aesthetic. You smirk, imagining her muttering about the temple's budget cuts while still making sure the cats get their share. The night feels alive, but not in a jump scare way, more like a warm hug from history itself. You close your eyes, the temple's faint incense curling around you, and let the story carry you closer to sleep, like a boat drifting down the Nile's gentle current. You wander further into the night, the Nile village now a tapestry of shadows and soft sounds. The moon hangs low, casting a silvery glow that makes the mud brick houses look like they're auditioning for a dream sequence. You feel the cool earth under your feet, each step a reminder that you're treading on ground older than your entire family tree. The air carries a faint whiff of roasted fish and lotus flowers, like someone's trying to pitch a new perfume called Ancient Riverside Chill. You're not sure if it's the moonlight or the exhaustion, but everything feels like it's moving in slow motion, as if the world's decided to hit the snooze button. You pass a granary, its domed roof looming like a giant overturned bowl. Inside you imagine sacks of emmer wheat and barley, guarded by a cat who's probably napping on the job. The major historical fact is that cats were vital to Egypt's economy, protecting grain stores that sustained entire cities. Without them, mice and rats would have turned the Nile's breadbasket into a rodent buffet, faster than you can say bad harvest. These feline sentinels were so crucial that some Egyptians treated them better than their own accountants, minus the papyrus spreadsheets, of course. You smirk, picturing a cat demanding a raise in the form of extra fish. Here's the weird tidbit. Some villagers believe cats could predict floods by staring at the Nile for too long. You try to imagine a cat perched on a riverbank squinting at the water like it's deciphering a cryptic text message from the gods. It's the kind of belief that makes you wonder if ancient Egyptians were just projecting their own anxieties onto their pets. You pause by the granary's entrance, where a faint scratching sound suggests a cat is earning its keep. Historians still debate whether these flood-predicting felines were seen as oracles or just really intense about their staring contests. Either way, you're not about to challenge a cat to a showdown under this moon. You sit on a low wall, the stone still warm from the day's relentless sun. The village feels like it's exhaling, each breath a mix of rustling reeds and distant laughter. A woman nearby sweeps her courtyard, her broom whispering against the ground like a soft metronome. You notice a small amulet around her neck, shaped like a cat's paw, probably meant to ward off bad dreams. It's a reminder that in this world, every detail carries weight. Like a tweet that's been retweeted by the gods. You lean back, the stars above twinkling like they're trying to tell you a bedtime story. The cat from the granary slinks by, giving you a look that says, "You're still awake, amateur." You drift toward the heart of the village, where a small marketplace lies quiet under the stars. The stalls are empty now, their wooden frames standing like skeletons of a busier day. You smell lingering traces of cumin and coriander, as if the spices are too stubborn to fade into the night. The scene feels like a paused video game, all the NPCs gone home to bed, leaving you to explore the map alone. You half expect a quest prompt to pop up, but all you get is the soft chirp of crickets, nature's version of a white noise machine. You linger by a stall where a clay jar sits, surface painted with cats chasing birds. The major historical fact is that by the New Kingdom, cats were so integral to Egyptian society that they appeared in art and tomb paintings, often depicted as companions of the elite. It's like they were the ancient equivalent of a status symbol, except instead of a flashy car, you had a purring furball who could outstare a hawk. These images weren't just decorative, they showed cats as partners in daily life, lounging under chairs or hunting in marshes. You imagine an Egyptian noble commissioning a painting and insisting, "Make sure my cat looks majestic, not like it's plotting my demise." Here's the obscure tidbit. Some Egyptians used cat-shaped oil lamps to light their homes at night, believing the glow channeled Bastet's protection. You picture a lamp flickering in a dark room, its cat eyes casting eerie shadows like a divine nightlight with an attitude. It's the kind of quirky detail that makes you wonder if they ever accidentally set a reed mat on fire while trying to be spiritual. You sit on a bench near the stall, the wood creaking under you like it's complaining about overtime. Historians still debate whether these lamps were purely symbolic or if people genuinely thought they kept nightmares at bay. Either way, you're not volunteering to sleep in total darkness here. A breeze carries the scent of the Nile, cool and earthy, wrapping around you like a shawl. A man passes by carrying a basket of dried fish, probably for tomorrow's market. He nods at you, his smile tired but kind, as if he's used to strangers wandering through his village at odd hours. You notice a small cat trailing him, its tail high like it's the real boss of this operation. You chuckle, imagining it demanding a cut of the fish profits. The night feels soft, the stars a gentle reminder that time moves slower here. You close your eyes, the marketplace's quiet hum blending with your breathing, pulling you closer to sleep like a tide tugging at the shore. You meander away from the marketplace, the Nile village now cloaked in a deeper stillness, as if the night has decided to turn down its own brightness. The air feels cooler, brushing your skin like a whispered secret, and the stars above glitter, like they're showing off for an audience of sleepy gods. You hear the faint ripple of the river, a sound so steady it's like the world's oldest lullaby, looping endlessly. Your footsteps crunch softly on the sandy path, each one a reminder that you're a guest in a time that doesn't bother with rush hours or email notifications. You pause near a small garden, where rows of onions and leeks grow in neat moonlit lines. A cat, grey as a storm cloud, weaves between the plants, its eyes catching the light like tiny mirrors. The major historical fact is that ancient Egyptians domesticated cats around 2000 BCE, likely due to their prowess in protecting crops from vermin. These furry guardians weren't just convenient, they were the difference between a full harvest and a season of grumbling bellies. It's like having a pest control app that purrs and demands chin scratches as payment. You imagine a farmer nodding approvingly at this cat, probably thinking it's worth more than half his livestock. Here's the weird tidbit. Some Egyptians believed cats could sense earthquakes before they struck, their whiskers twitching like nature's early warning system. You picture this cat, mid-nap, suddenly bolting upright as if it's just remembered a meeting with the god of tremors. It's a belief that feels like it belongs in a quirky sci-fi novel, yet here it is, rooted in a world of papyrus and pyramids. You sit on a low mud brick ledge, the garden's earthy scent wrapping around you like a cozy blanket. Historians still debate whether this earthquake-sensing idea was based on observation, or just a hopeful story spun during a long, nervous night. You're not sure, but you're also not about to argue with a cat that looks like it knows more than you. The village feels like it's dreaming now, each house a quiet cocoon of lives unfolding. A woman hums nearby, her voice weaving through the air like a thread through linen. You notice a small clay cat statue tucked among the leeks, its head tilted as if it's eavesdropping on the stars. You smirk, imagining it reporting back to Bastet with a full debrief on the vegetable gossip. The night is gentle, the kind of gentle that makes you want to curl up right here, with the cat as your unofficial sleep coach. You lean back, the ledge's warmth seeping into your bones, and let the Nile's rhythm carry you closer to a doze, like a boat rocking on a calm sea. You drift toward the village's edge, where the Nile itself seems to hum a bedtime story. The water glints under the moonlight, a liquid mirror reflecting a sky that's frankly showing off with all those stars. You feel the damp grass under your feet, cool and slightly ticklish, like nature's attempt at a foot massage. The village is so quiet now that every sound, a frog's croak, a reed's rustle, feels like it's been handpicked for a sleep playlist. You're half tempted to lie down right here, but you suspect the local cats would judge you for hogging their territory. You pass a small shrine, its stone altar adorned with offerings, a loaf of bread, a vial of oil, and a tiny cat figurine that looks like it's posing for a divine selfie. The major historical fact is that cats were often mummified after death, buried with the same care as humans to honour their role as protectors. These feline funerals weren't just for show. They were a way to ensure the cat's spirit could guard its family in the afterlife, like signing up for eternal pet insurance. You imagine a priest wrapping a cat in linen, muttering about how it better appreciate the effort. Here's the obscure tidbit. Some Egyptians placed tiny cat amulets in their beds to ward off bad dreams, believing the cat's spirit could patrol the night. You picture a villager tucking one under their pillow, hoping it's more effective than counting sheep or scrolling through a meditation app. It's the kind of charming detail that makes you wonder if they ever woke up to find the amulet missing, probably swiped by an actual cat. You sit on a riverside rock, its surface smooth from years of floods, and feel the night settle around you like a soft shawl. Historians still debate whether these amulets were purely symbolic or if people genuinely thought they kept nightmares at bay. You're not sure, but the idea of a cat-shaped dream catcher is oddly comforting. A fisherman glides by on the Nile, his boat a dark silhouette against the water's sheen. He hums a tune low and rhythmic like he's serenading the fish into his nets. You notice a cat perched on his boat, its tail flicking like it's the real captain of this operation. You chuckle, imagining it demanding a bigger share of the catch for its supervisory role. The night feels like a warm embrace, the kind that makes you forget about deadlines or Wi-Fi passwords. You close your eyes, the Nile's gentle lap blending with the fisherman's hum, pulling you deeper into a story that's half history, half dream, and entirely soothing. You linger by the Nile's edge, the river's gentle ripples whispering secrets to the night. The air is cool now, wrapping around you like a soft scarf, and the stars above seem to pulse with a rhythm older than the pyramids. You feel the damp earth beneath your feet, each step sinking slightly, as if the ground is inviting you to stay a while. The village sleeps, its houses dark save for the occasional flicker of an oil lamp, like tiny fireflies trapped in mud brick. It's the kind of quiet that makes you think the world's hit the mute button, leaving only the hum of existence. You wander toward a potter's workshop, its open courtyard littered with clay shards and half-finished jars. A cat, black as midnight, lounges on a workbench, its eyes glinting like it's the self-appointed quality control manager. The major historical fact is that cats were so valued in ancient Egypt that they were often depicted in funerary texts, believed to guide souls through the afterlife. Think of them as spiritual GPS systems, ensuring you don't take a wrong turn into the underworld's sketchier neighbourhoods. These feline escorts were etched into tomb walls, their presence a comforting promise of protection beyond the grave. Here's the weird tidbit. Some Egyptians painted cat whiskers on their doors to ward off evil spirits. You imagine a villager, brush in hand, carefully doodling whiskers like they're decorating for a divine Halloween party. It's a quirky custom, less about aesthetics and more about hoping the gods notice your commitment to the cat aesthetic. You sit on a low stool, the clay dust tickling your nose like a sneeze that never arrives. Historians still debate whether these whisker paintings were purely symbolic or if people thought they literally kept bad vibes at bay. You're not sure, but you're also not about to mess with a door that's got Bastet's approval. The night feels like a warm hug, the kind that makes you forget about deadlines or misplaced keys. A potter's apprentice shuffles by, carrying a stack of bowls, his yawns so wide it could rival a hippo's. You notice a small cat charm dangling from his belt, probably for luck or to keep his clay from cracking. You smirk, imagining the cat whispering pottery tips in his dreams, like a furry life coach with a penchant for ceramics. The Nile's soft lapping blends with the distant coo of a bird, pulling you deeper into a calm that's as soothing as a perfectly brewed cup of chamomile. You lean back, the stars winking above, and let the village's quiet rhythm rock you towards sleep. You drift back toward the village centre, where the night has settled like a heavy quilt. The air smells of baked earth and faint traces of incense, as if someone's burning a divine air freshener. You hear the soft creak of a water wheel turning nearby, its steady rhythm like a metronome set to lullaby mode. The houses around you are dark, their occupants lost in dreams, and you feel like you're tiptoeing through a painting, careful not to smudge the edges. It's the kind of scene that makes you want to whisper, just in case the moon's trying to nap. You pause at a weaver's home, its courtyard strung with linen threads drying under the stars. A tabby cat sprawls across a loom, its paws dangling like it's claiming the whole setup as its personal throne. The major historical fact is that cats were often buried with their owners, especially among the elite, to ensure companionship in the afterlife. It's like packing your favourite pillow for a cosmic road trip, except this pillow hunts mice and has an ego. These burials were elaborate, with cats wrapped in linen and placed in tiny sarcophagi, a testament to their role as eternal guardians. Here's the obscure tidbit. Some Egyptians believed cats could see spirits invisible to humans, acting as gatekeepers between worlds. You picture this tabby staring into the void, casually spotting a ghost and deciding it's not worth the effort to chase. It's the kind of belief that feels like it belongs in a bedtime story, yet it's woven into the fabric of this village's life. You sit on a woven mat, the fibres soft under your hands, and feel the night's calm seep into you like a warm bath. Historians still debate whether this spirit-seeing idea was a widespread belief or just a tale spun by over-imaginative priests. You're not sure, but the cat's unblinking stare makes you wonder if it's clocking something you can't see. A weaver emerges from the house, her hands dusted with flax, her eyes heavy with sleep. She glances at the cat, muttering something about it stealing her best thread. You chuckle, imagining the cat plotting a textile empire while she's not looking. The village feels like it's breathing with you, each inhale a mix of river air and starlight. A small cat amulet hangs from the loom, glinting faintly as if it's winking at you for noticing. You lean back, the mat cradling you like a hammock, and let the night's gentle hum pull you closer to dreams. The Nile's song a soft reminder that you're exactly where you're meant to be. You amble through the village, the night air now a soft caress, like a breeze that's decided to take it easy. The Nile glimmers nearby, its surface catching moonlight like a mirror, with a penchant for drama. Your feet sink into the cool, sandy path, each step a quiet reminder that you're walking through a world that's been napping for millennia. The village is hushed, save for the occasional rustle of palm fronds, sounding like nature's attempt at a whispery ASMR session. You feel like you've stumbled into a dream someone else is having, and you're just along for the ride. You stop at a small brewery where clay vats line the courtyard like oversized teacups waiting for a giant's tea party. A ginger cat perches on one, its tail flicking as if it's the unofficial brewmaster. The major historical fact is that ancient Egyptians brewed beer as a staple, often offering it to gods like Bastet to ensure protection and prosperity. This wasn't your trendy craft IPA. It was thick, slightly sour, and sipped through straws to avoid the gritty bits, like drinking a smoothie with a side of sediment. You imagine a priest pouring a jug for Bastet, hoping she doesn't send it back for being too cloudy. Here's the weird tidbit. Some brewers believed cats blessed the fermentation process by sleeping near the vats. You picture this cat sprawled out like it's on a spa day, somehow convincing everyone it's the secret ingredient to good beer. It's a belief so charmingly odd you wonder if they ever tried to bottle eau de Philin for the gods. You sit on a low bench, the scent of barley and yeast drifting around you like a warm, bready hug. Historians still debate whether cats were thought to influence the brew's quality, or just like the warm vats for napping. You're not sure, but you're also not about to disturb this cat's quality control session. A brewer shuffles by, his hands stained with grain, muttering about a batch that's gone too sour. He glances at the cat, half expecting it to offer brewing advice. You smirk, imagining it purring back, "Add more malt, human, and maybe I'll approve." The night feels like a soft blanket wrapping you in the village's quiet rhythm. A small cat-shaped charm dangles from the brewer's belt, glinting under the stars like it's keeping score. You lean back, the bench's rough wood grounding you, and let the Nile's distant murmur pull you closer to sleep, like a tide that knows exactly where it's going. You drift toward a cluster of houses, their mud brick walls glowing faintly under the moon's lazy gaze. The air smells of warm linen and something faintly sweet, maybe honey left out for a late-night snack. You hear the soft clink of pottery from somewhere nearby, like the village is humming its own bedtime tune. The stars above are relentless, twinkling like they've got a point to prove, and you feel like you're floating in a sea of time, unmoored from the chaos of modern life. It's as if the world's decided to take a collective nap and you're invited. You pause at a healer's home, its doorway framed with dried herbs that sway like sleepy sentinels. A sleek cat lounges on the threshold, its eyes half closed, as if it's vetting you for entry. The major historical fact is that ancient Egyptian healers often invoked Bastet's protection when treating ailments, believing her feline spirit could ward off disease. These healers mixed herbs, prayers, and amulets in a medical approach that was half science, half hope, like a doctor's visit crossed with a spiritual Yelp review. You imagine a patient clutching a cat charm, hoping it's got better credentials than the local physician. Here's the obscure tidbit. Some healers used cat fur in poultices, believing it carried protective magic for wounds. You picture a healer delicately snipping a cat's fur, probably apologising profusely while the cat glares like it's filing a formal complaint. It's the kind of custom that makes you wonder if they ever ran out of willing feline donors. You sit on a woven mat outside, the herbs' faint aroma curling around you like a soothing tea. Historians still debate whether cat fur was used for its symbolic power or if people genuinely thought it had healing properties. You're not sure, but you're also not volunteering to test it on a scraped knee. A woman emerges from the house carrying a basket of bandages and a small jar of ointment. She nods at the cat as if it's her unofficial supervisor, and you chuckle, imagining it demanding a cut of her herb supply. The night feels like a warm embrace, the kind that makes you forget about alarm clocks or unread emails. A tiny cat amulet hangs from the doorway, catching the moonlight like a winking star. You lean back, the mat soft beneath you, and let the village's quiet pulse blend with your breathing, pulling you toward dreams like a river carrying a leaf downstream. You wander back toward the Nile, the night now a deep velvety hush that wraps around you like a favourite sweater. The river's surface shimmers under the moon, each ripple catching light like a sleepy disco ball. Your feet press into the cool, damp earth, leaving faint prints that feel like a quiet conversation with the past. The village is so still you can hear the faint buzz of a beetle, scuttling along like it's late for a very important bug meeting. It's the kind of calm that makes you want to lie down and let the stars tell you their stories. No subscription required. You pause near the fisherman's hut, its walls adorned with nets that hang like giant spider webs waiting for a catch. A striped cat lounges on a pile of ropes, its eyes glinting as if it's plotting to steal the boat and sail off for adventure. The major historical fact is that cats were so revered in ancient Egypt that harming one was a serious crime, sometimes punished by exile or heavy fines. It's like the entire society agreed that cats were the ultimate VIPs, with better legal protection than your average Wi-Fi router. You imagine a villager accidentally stepping on a cat's tail and immediately begging for forgiveness, papyrus apology letter in hand. Here's the weird tidbit. Some fishermen believed cats brought luck to their nets by purring near the water. You picture this cat vibrating like a tiny motor, convincing everyone it's the secret to a bountiful haul. It's a belief so whimsical you wonder if they ever tried to hire cats as full-time crew members. You sit on a wooden bench by the hut, the river's gentle lapping blending with the night's quiet like a perfectly mixed sleep track. Historians still debate whether this luck-bringing idea was widespread or just a riverside superstition passed around like a fishy folktale. You're not sure, but the cat's smug expression suggests it knows something you don't. A fisherman shuffles out, checking his nets with a yawn that could wake a crocodile. He glances at the cat, muttering something about it being lazier than a tax collector on holiday. You smirk, imagining the cat rolling its eyes, unimpressed by the critique. The night feels like a soft cocoon, the kind that makes you forget about morning meetings or misplaced keys. A small cat-shaped pendant swings from the hut's doorway, catching the moonlight like it's winking at you. You lean back, the bench's rough wood grounding you, and let the Nile's rhythm pull you closer to sleep, like a tide that's too polite to rush. You drift toward a quiet corner of the village, where the houses cluster like old friends sharing secrets. The air is heavy with the scent of warm bread and faint traces of myrrh, as if someone's burning incense to impress the moon. You hear the soft clatter of a loom from a nearby courtyard, its rhythm steady as a heartbeat, lulling the night into a deeper calm. The stars above are relentless, twinkling like they've got a cosmic talent show to win. You feel like you're floating through a memory, the kind that's too cozy to leave. You pause at a scribe's home, its doorway framed with papyrus scrolls stacked like a librarian's fever dream. A sleek cat sprawls across a writing table, its tail flicking over a half-finished sheet like it's editing the scribe's work. The major historical fact is that cats were often included in Egyptian religious texts, symbolizing protection against chaos and evil forces. These texts, etched on temple walls or buried with the dead, cast cats as divine allies, like the ultimate wingman for your soul's journey. You imagine a scribe scribbling furiously, hoping his cat doesn't smudge the ink with a well-timed paw swipe. Here's the obscure tidbit. Some scribes believed cats inspired clearer thoughts by sitting near their desks. You picture this cat lounging like it's brainstorming hieroglyphs, probably taking credit for the scribe's best ideas. It's a custom so charmingly odd you wonder if they ever tried to pay cats in fish for their consulting services. You sit on a low stool, the scent of ink and papyrus curling around you like a warm hug from history. Historians still debate whether this belief stemmed from cats' calming presence, or just a scribe's wishful thinking during a late-night deadline. You're not sure, but the cat's serene gaze makes you think it's got wisdom to spare. A young scribe emerges, rubbing his eyes as if he's been wrestling with words all night. He glances at the cat, muttering about its knack for stealing his best reed pens. You chuckle, imagining the cat hiding a stash of pens under the table, plotting a stationary empire. The night feels like a gentle wave, washing away the noise of the modern world. A small cat amulet rests on the scribe's table, its carved eyes catching the starlight like a tiny beacon. You lean back, the stool creaking softly, and let the village's quiet hum carry you toward dreams, like a boat gliding on a starlit river. You meander through the village, the night now a soft blanket woven from moonlight and quiet. The Nile murmurs nearby, its ripples catching starlight like a riverbed full of scattered jewels. Your feet sink into the cool, sandy path, each step a gentle nudge from a world that's forgotten how to hurry. You hear the faint chirp of crickets, their song a delicate thread in the night's tapestry, like nature's attempt at a minimalist soundtrack. The village feels like it's holding its breath, waiting for you to settle into its rhythm. You pause at a baker's courtyard, where the scent of warm bread lingers like a hug you didn't know you needed. A tabby cat lounges on a stone oven, its eyes half closed, as if it's the unofficial guardian of the dough. The major historical fact is that ancient Egyptians offered cats as votive gifts in temples, especially to Bastet, to seek blessings for health and safety. These offerings weren't just symbolic, they were a way to connect with the divine, like leaving a 5-star review for a goddess who always delivers. You imagine a villager placing a cat figurine at a shrine, hoping it's enough to secure a good harvest or a peaceful nap. Here's the weird tidbit. Some bakers believed cats could keep bread from spoiling by patrolling the ovens at night. You picture this tabby stalking the courtyard like it's on a mission to thwart mould, probably expecting a loaf as payment. It's a belief so quaint you wonder if they ever tried to train cats to sniff out bad batches. You sit on a low wall, the stone still warm from the day, its heat seeping into you like a cosy electric blanket. Historians still debate whether this anti-spoilage idea was rooted in observation or just a baker's hope to keep the gods happy. You're not sure, but the cat's smug posture suggests it's taking full credit. A baker shuffles out, her hands dusted with flour, her yawn as wide as the Nile itself. She glances at the cat, muttering about it stealing her best barley batch. You smirk, imagining the cat plotting a bread heist while she's distracted. The night feels like a warm embrace, the kind that makes you forget about alarm clocks or unread notifications. A small cat-shaped charm hangs from the oven's edge, glinting faintly like it's winking at the stars. You lean back, the wall's steady presence grounding you, and let the village's quiet pulse pull you towards sleep, like a river carrying a leaf to rest. You drift toward a quiet grove, where palm trees sway gently, their fronds whispering secrets to the night. The air is cool and sweet, laced with the scent of lotus flowers, like someone's brewing a tea that's half floral, half drung. Dream. You hear the soft rustle of leaves, a sound so soothing it feels like the world's turned down its volume to whisper. The stars above are relentless, twinkling like they're auditioning for a cosmic light show. You feel like you're walking through a memory, the kind that's too soft to hold on to for long. You pause at a small shrine nestled among the trees, its stone altar adorned with tiny cat statues and wilted flowers. The major historical fact is that the city of Bubastis, Bastet's cult centre, hosted massive festivals where thousands gathered to honour the cat goddess. These weren't sombre affairs, they were lively, with music, dance and offerings, like a divine block party where cats were the VIPs. You imagine pilgrims arriving by boat clutching cat amulets and probably arguing over who brought the best gift for Bastet. Here's the obscure tidbit. Some festival goers wore cat-shaped jewellery to signal their devotion, believing it brought them closer to the goddess's favour. You picture a villager proudly sporting a cat pendant, strutting like they've just won the ancient Egyptian equivalent of a fashion award. It's a custom so endearing, you wonder if they ever lost earrings to overly curious kittens. You sit on a patch of grass, the earth cool and soft beneath you, like a mattress made of history itself. Historians still debate whether these accessories were purely devotional or also a way to show off social status. You're not sure, but the shrine's quiet glow makes you think it was a bit of both. A woman passes by, her arms full of lotus blossoms, her steps slow as if she's savouring the night. She glances at the shrine, nodding at the cat statues like they're old friends. You chuckle, imagining one of them winking back as if it's in on a divine joke. The night feels like a gentle tide washing away the noise of the modern world. A small cat slinks through the grove, its eyes catching the moonlight like twin lanterns. You lean back, the grass cradling you, and let the village's soft hum blend with your breathing, pulling you toward dreams like a boat drifting on a starlit current. You find yourself back at the Nile's edge, the river now a glassy ribbon under a sky that's starting to soften with the first hints of dawn. The air is cool, carrying the faint scent of dew and lotus, like nature's attempt at a soothing aromatherapy session. Your feet sink into the damp earth, each step a quiet farewell to the village that's held you in its embrace all night. The world is hushed, save for the gentle lap of water and the occasional coo of a waking bird, as if the morning is too polite to interrupt your reverie. You feel like you're floating in the final pages of a story, the kind that leaves you warm and ready to drift off. You pause by a small jetty where a wooden boat bobs gently, its ropes creaking, like an old chair settling under weight. A sleek cat, its fur dappled like a starry sky, lounges on the boat's edge, its eyes fixed on the horizon as if it's contemplating a career change to sailor. The major historical fact is that ancient Egyptians believed cats were linked to the divine cycle of life and death, serving as guardians not just in homes, but in the spiritual realm. Their presence in myths and rituals tied them to the eternal, like a furry thread woven through the fabric of existence. You imagine a priest nodding at this cat, convinced it's got a direct line to the afterlife's customer service desk. Here's the weird tidbit. Some Egyptians thought cats could guide souls to the field of reeds, the paradise of their afterlife, by walking ahead in dreams. You picture this cat strutting through a dreamscape like it's leading a tour group, probably pausing to demand a fishy toll at every gate. It's a belief so poetic you wonder if they ever woke up feeling like their cat had just clocked out from a night shift in the spirit world. You sit on the jetty's edge, the wood smooth under your hands, its warmth fading as the night gives way to morning. Historians still debate whether this soul-guiding role was a widespread belief or a story spun by dreamers with too much time on their hands. You're not sure, but the cat's serene gaze makes you think it's got secrets it's not sharing. A boatman approaches, his step slow, his arms full of nets that smell faintly of fish and river mud. He glances at the cat, muttering about it stealing his best catch, as if it's running a black market fish operation. You smirk, imagining the cat purring back, "You're welcome for the divine protection, pal." The night feels like it's exhaling one last time, the stars fading into a sky that's turning blush pink. A small cat amulet dangles from the boat's prow, catching the first light like a tiny promise of safety. You lean back, the jetty's gentle sway rocking you, and let the Nile's soft song blend with your breathing. The village, the cats, the river, they've all woven a story that's carried you through the night, pulling you towards sleep like a current guiding a boat to shore. You close your eyes, the world soft and warm, and drift into dreams, where cats might just be waiting to lead the way.